Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to this video. This video is going to be a breakdown of UFC 232. This is my first video on this channel. What I want to do on this channel is videos on sporting events like, UFC, boxing, NFL, NBA, European football, or as we call it in the States, soccer. But yeah, so if you like the video, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to, watch upcoming videos that I will put out. So yeah, so UFC 232, the John Jones versus Alexander Gustafsson part 2, right? So if you're an MMA fan, of course you know everything that's been going on with the whatever happened with the drug test of John Jones, that they found a small amount of whatever in his system, and they had to move the card from Vegas to LA with a 1 week notice, right? All that stuff. But it happens. Everybody, at least from the main fights, everybody made weight, so that's good. Nothing crazy there. Yeah, so let's jump into a few of the prelim matches. The prelims on Fight Pass, no big names except for Uriah Hall. At least he's the most well-known fighter from the Fight Pass. He has a lot of, he's very talented. He has that knockout power. Whenever he first came up, he was in the I think the Ultimate Fighter, whatever season it was years ago. But he kind of had that, he had a crazy spinning kick or something in that season, which caught everybody's eyes. I want to say he ended up winning. I'm not sure if he won that season or not, but he was like, holy shit, kind of almost resembled John Jones' body style and weird, kicks and knees and elbows and all that shit. But yeah, so but then he go on winning streaks, losing streaks, and honestly, I can't even remember the last time I saw him fight. But he looked pretty good in this fight. Ending it with a crazy KO in the third round. Looked pretty good. So hopefully, he gets on a winning streak. Puts on performances like this one here, and hopefully he reaches his potential. But yeah, it was great to see him. Let's see, and then you move on to the FS1 card. You got BJ Penn versus Ryan Hall, right? I don't know. I mean, I think if you're BJ Penn, man, it has to be. I think it has to be time to call it a career. I've been doing it for a long time. Former UFC champion. How long ago was that? Like decade ago or something like that. But yeah, now he's much older now, and he's still fighting, and he's fighting on prelim cards. I just think it's got to be time for him to go, man. Call it a career. I don't know. I'm sure maybe they can use somebody else at the pre-show and post-show fight. The shows, the post-fight shows, pre-fight shows, all that. But yeah, so Ryan Hall, man, Ryan Hall ends up finishing BJ Penn with a heel hook submission in the first round, right? And after I saw it, man, I had to rewind it. I think I watched it like 10, 15 times just because of how quick he was able to, get that submission in, and it just ended so quick. And BJ Penn just, he tapped pretty pretty quick, few seconds after Ryan Hall got that submission in. But yeah, that was a great fight. Great performance by Hall there. After that, pretty good fight between Petr Yan and the Brazilian Douglas Silva, and this was a pretty good fight. Petr Yan, he dominated. At least in my eyes, it looked like he dominated the first two rounds. But in the second round, he took him down, and he started ground and pound. He landed an elbow, I think, right above the eyebrow. He cut him open, and landed some more shots in there. And I think he landed an illegal knee there that the ref didn't see, but I don't think that's what won him the fight. So yeah, he ground and pound damage. The round ended. Guy was sitting on his stool in the corner, and the corner stopped him. Good stoppage, man. The guy took a beating there. But yeah, so good stoppage there from his corner. I know we like to see the stoppage, the tap, whatever. We like to see that, but for his health, it's good that his corner stepped in and stopped the fight. After that one, then you got the women's fight in the featherweight division between Megan Anderson and Kat Zingano, right? Yeah, it was a quick match, and it was an awkward ending. The match lasted a minute. Zingano, she looked like she was gonna be comfortable in there, man, and she had her back against the cage. She was gonna be circling around, and Anderson threw a kick. Now the kick, it didn't land like flush on her, and whenever I was watching it live, I thought it just grazed her, grazed her eye, because that's what we saw afterwards. That, like, the commentators said that got hit in the eye. So yeah, so she's circling around the cage. Zingano is. Anderson throws the kick, and it looked like she grazed the eye, and she goes, she moves towards the cage. Zingano, she turns her back, and Megan Anderson comes. She throws like 2-3 punches, not hard punches. I don't think she even threw the punches at her head, but the ref, she saw Zingano with her back turned, and she stopped the fight. So afterwards, when you see it on replay on slow motion, you can see that when Anderson threw the kick, her toe actually looked like it went in her eye, like poked, and foot kept going. You didn't see any blood or anything from it, so it could have, maybe she had her eye open and went in there, man. But I don't know. It was just weird, awkward. Hopefully she's good, man. Hopefully she's okay. But yeah, so that was how that match went. So Anderson now, she lost to Holly Holm her last fight, and now she has this win. Not really officially it's a win, but you didn't really see much from her, right? So see what happens with her now. After that, you had a heavyweight match between Walt Harris and Andre Arlovsky. Not great not a great fight. But whenever you have heavyweights, you're just one punch away from the fight being over, right? Um, so you had that going. I think Walt Harris ends up winning the fight by split decision. I think, at least in my opinion, it looked like he did do better. Um, I think there was a few times where he landed good shots, but he didn't. He would land a shot and he didn't follow up with anything else after that. It's like he would land one good punch and then kind of back off. I don't know if maybe that was just him, the respect that he has for Arlovsky's power, but yeah, like he landed at least, I don't know, 4 or 5 good shots, but never in any kind of combination. It was just like boom, one good shot and then he would back off. But yeah, I mean, looked pretty good. Not a, like I said, not a great fight. But yeah, so Walt Harris won that one by split decision. I thought he, won the fight for sure. Yeah, maybe two rounds to one, but one of the judges had it all 3 rounds for Arlovsky, which was a little bit awkward, a little weird. Um, so moving on to the pay-per-view card, the first fight on there was Alexander Volkanovski versus Chad Mendes. This was a featherweight match, right? Two, kind of short guys, but man, these guys were just fast. It was a good fight to open up the pay-per-view for sure. Um, pretty good match. The first round, they both went back and forth. I don't know, couldn't really tell you who won that first round. Maybe Chad Mendes. Then you go into the second round, and Chad Mendes actually drops Alexander, drops Volkanovski. He drops him, and I think he went in, try to get that finish, and I think he spent a lot of his energy trying to finish him, and he couldn't. So then they get back up, and eventually, you kind of tell Mendes was a little gassed, and Volkanovski lands some shots. He lands a good shot on Mendes. Mendes takes a knee. He goes down, takes a knee. Volkanovski, throws 2, 3 punches, whatever it is. The ref steps in and, calls the fight. And that was it. That was it for that fight right there. It was like I said, it was a great fight to open up the pay per view. A lot of, it was a high energy fight from both guys, and for a second I thought Mendes was gonna. He didn't, he dropped him, and I thought he was gonna finish him. And I mean, he did look good. It's just, I guess he just ran out of gas, but overall, it was a good fight. After that, you got Corey Anderson versus Latifi. Again, these were some, heavy hitting light heavyweight guys. Corey Anderson, for as big as he is, man, you got to give him credit for his cardio for sure, man. He looked good out there. Latifi, I think in the second round, he was already gassed, But again, he's one of those guys that, carries a small sledgehammer in his hands, and he's, that one punch away from ending the match. But yeah, at the end, I think it goes to decision. And Corey Anderson takes the fight, unanimous decision. At the end, Latifi gassed out. Corey Anderson didn't. Was able to land a few more punches. Then we go into welterweight fight between Carlos Condit and Michael Chiesa. That was Michael Chiesa's first fight at welterweight. Um, and he looked good, man. He looked pretty comfortable moving up in weight. He did pretty good. He did pretty good in the first round, and towards the end of the round, Condit almost got him in a submission, and Chiesa was able to get out. You go into the second round, and like I said, Chiesa did look comfortable out there. Ends up taking Carlos Condit down. He puts him in a Kimura, right? He puts him into a Kimura, and then I don't know. At least I've never seen this before, but he puts his arm behind his back, twisting it, and his arm ends up extending like something like this. It's against the octagon floor and twisting, and it's like Chiesa was holding his hand back there, his wrist, and at the same time pushing down on him. So it was, I don't know, man. It was just awkward. It looked awkward, but he was able to finish that fight like that, man. Good overall fight, good finish. He looked comfortable out there. Who else? Oh, and then you move on to the women's featherweight title fight between Chris Cyborg, the champion, and Amanda Nunes. Man, this was a crazy fight, man. Well, crazy with the result, right? And I mean, I think it lasted, 51 seconds. 51 seconds. Both these girls are heavy hitters. I was going for Nunes, but I was going for Nunes, but everybody knows Cyborg's power. We hadn't seen either one of them. Well, I mean, Nunes did beat Ronda Rousey and whoever else in her division, but I don't know. It was just, and Cyborg hasn't fought anybody of this skill either. But Cyborg was it was still kind of a heavy, not heavy, but like a minus 240, I think, favorite going into the fight, which is, it's still pretty good, man. Anyways, fight starts and they both go out there throwing punches, man. And at the end of the day, we ended up seeing that Amanda Nunes has some power, even at featherweight, against Cyborg. And at the end, it was the speed of Nunes that beat Cyborg. The speed, and she landed at least 5 to 7 like heavy shots on her, and just quick, fast. Cyborg didn't know what the hell hit her, and it was great to see, man. It was just an exciting fight. It was the best, even though it only lasted 51 seconds. That was the fight of the night for sure, man. Best performance of the night. So yeah, so now now she's the champion in 2 divisions. See what happens with this title though, with the featherweight. I saw somewhere that I think Cyborg's contract with the UFC ends in March, and it's not certain that she's gonna be back with the UFC. So see what happens. Not many. I don't think there's many girls in that division. I heard something that they might even get rid of the division. Um, I don't know. There's talk of maybe Nunes fighting at uh or fighting versus Holly Holm at maybe they could fight at either division. If they were to get rid of this division, they could fight, at one weight class, one division lower. Or if they want to run this for this title, Holm versus Nunes. Megan Anderson is also in that division, but I don't know if they'd give her a title fight because she lost to Holly Holm, and then she had this fight tonight versus Zingano, where she wins, but I mean it's officially a win. But I mean the fight landed 1 minute or lasted 1 minute, and it wasn't really like she finished her. It was Zingano was injured, so see what happens with the featherweight division now in the women's featherweight division. After that, then we go into the John Jones and Alex Gustafsson, the second fight. Yeah, so it was a very like technical fight. Nothing too crazy ended up happening in the fight. You got Jones throwing his awkward knees and elbows and shit. Gustafsson, try to get close in the distance, try to get in close. I forgot what round it was, but Jones hurt Gustafsson's leg. I think he threw a kick, hurt it, and then from there on, you just saw Gustafsson kind of limping around the cage. Not too obvious, but you could tell. I don't know if John Jones noticed it or not, but kind of tell he wasn't really putting all his weight on it, and eventually that could have been the reason that Jones was able to take down Gustafsson to eventually finish him. So he takes him down. He gets his back, and he starts throwing some punches on his head. Gustafsson's covering up, and the referee stops it. So after the fight, John Jones he calls out DC again. Cormier calls him out. He says, if you are the champ, then why don't you prove it to the people? Come get your title back. So we'll see what happens with that. He says that. When he says come get your title back, that means come down to 205. I don't know if Cormier really needs to do it. Should he? I don't know. There's really nothing more for him, right? I mean, is Cormier gonna wait for Brock Lesnar? I mean, for heavyweight, is Miocic gonna Stipe, is he gonna get his rematch? I mean, I know it was a clear win for DC versus Stipe, but he did defend the title more times than anybody else. I figured he would maybe get a title shot, a rematch. So we'll see what happens. I mean, I don't know. Like, do we want to see it again? DC versus John Jones? I think so. I think it would be interesting to watch it again one more time. But John Jones is exciting. He is exciting to watch, right? But he is exciting to watch, but with all the with these failed tests and it's a very small amount, and it could have been from the other time, and all this, back and forth of, this and that. It still has to put a stain in his career, on his record. These times that he failed these tests, is it the only times that, he said he never took PED, he never knowingly took PEDs, right? That's what he says. It's always iffy with that. But so what? Like, I don't know. He's fun to watch, but all that is, I don't know. If you just want to watch fights, who gives a shit? Let him fight, whatever. But for the record books, and is he really the best and all that? That's when these failed tests come into the picture. But yeah, he's exciting to watch, man. See what happens. I wouldn't mind watching it again, right? But yeah. So let's see what happens with in the future with John Jones. See what happens with Amanda Nunes now. New champions. But yeah, so that is gonna do it for this video, this UFC 232 recap. It is, like I said, it is my first video, so if you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe. And I'm not used to doing videos, so apologize for not looking into the camera too much. I'm looking over here in this direction because I have a monitor over here, and I was just looking at the fight card and the results. So I was looking more over here. I got 3 monitors. I have the results over here, and then I got the camera over here. So like I said, apologize for not looking into the camera much, if it makes a difference to you guys. But yeah, that's it. That's gonna do it. You enjoy the video, hit the like button, subscribe, and tune in for upcoming videos. Peace.